Every day, somewhere in the world, someone wakes up feeling like the weight of their struggle is heavier than they can bear. They look around and see no one standing beside them, no cheering crowd, no shoulder to lean on. It feels like silence surrounds them, like the world has turned its back. Yet even in that silence, there is a heartbeat, a rhythm that says you're still here, you're still fighting, you're still pushing forward. That heartbeat is proof of something extraordinary, your resilience. It's proof that even in the face of isolation, you've refused to surrender. And that is something powerful, something rare. You may not realize it, but fighting battles alone has given you a strength that many will never know. When no one else is there to tell you keep going, you've found the courage within yourself to take the next step anyway. When the nights felt endless and the tears wouldn't stop, you became your own comfort, your own motivator, your own guide. You've learned how to stand tall when it would have been easier to collapse. That quiet strength is not weakness, it's not invisibility, it's the mark of a warrior who is still standing when everything around them says they shouldn't be. Every time you've been knocked down, you've stood back up, even if it was shaky and slow. You've taught yourself lessons that no book could teach and no speech could ever fully explain. You've discovered the depth of your own heart, and because of that, your story isn't just one of survival, it's one of triumph. The world may not have seen every tear you've cried, every prayer you've whispered, every plan you've made to escape the pain, but those moments built the foundation for your future strength. Those moments are what make you unstoppable now. There's something profoundly beautiful about people who fight battles alone. They understand compassion at a level others don't, because they know what it feels like to be unseen. They give kindness without expecting it back, because they know how much a single kind word can mean. They carry a wisdom forged in the fire of struggle, and that wisdom radiates even when they don't notice it themselves. You are that kind of person. You might feel invisible at times, but the truth is, the world desperately needs more people like you. People who know what it means to endure, to rise, to keep walking through the storm. It's important to remember that being alone in a battle doesn't make you less worthy of love, support, or success. It doesn't mean you're destined to always walk this road alone. Sometimes, solitude is the crucible that shapes you into the person who can later guide others out of their own darkness. Sometimes, your current struggle is the training ground for your future purpose. Don't let the loneliness convince you that you're forgotten. You're not. The work you're doing inside yourself, the pain you're turning into strength, is preparing you for the day when your story will be the reason someone else doesn't give up. You've already come farther than you think. You've already proven that you are stronger than your doubts, braver than your fears, and more resilient than your circumstances. Even if you don't see it yet, even if your heart feels tired, you're becoming someone extraordinary. Every small step you take every time you choose to show up, to fight, to keep going, is building a future you can't yet see, but will someday step into with pride. Don't underestimate how much power there is in simply refusing to quit. Sometimes, the most heroic act isn't a dramatic victory. It's the quiet, relentless decision to keep moving forward one more time. So, if you're reading this and you feel like you're alone in your fight, know this. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are not a failure for struggling. You are a fighter, a builder, a survivor. You are someone who is learning, growing, and transforming even in the moments when it feels like you're breaking. Your scars are not signs of defeat. They are proof that you endured what was meant to break you and kept going anyway. That kind of strength doesn't fade. It stays with you, shaping you into a force the world will one day marvel at. Keep believing in that quiet power inside you. Keep showing up for yourself. Keep fighting, even when no one claps, even when no one sees. One day, you'll look back and realize that these lonely battles were the very thing that built the life you always dreamed of. And on that day, you'll stand not only as someone who survived, but as someone who overcame. and your journey will shine as a light for others still walking through the dark. When you are fighting your battles alone, something remarkable begins to take shape inside you, even when you don't notice it at first. Without an audience to cheer you on, without a helping hand to pull you back up, you are forced to search within yourself for the drive to keep going. This search is uncomfortable, but it's where inner strength is born. Each time you fall and get back up without anyone telling you to, you are laying a brick in the foundation of your resilience. You begin to understand that your ability to stand does not depend on who stands next to you, but on what you are building inside. This kind of self-reliance becomes a quiet force, a deep reservoir of power that carries you further than external support ever could. Think about the moments when you felt completely exhausted but still took one more step. Those weren't just small decisions, they were milestones of growth. Every time you chose to push forward instead of giving in, you proved to yourself that you can endure. That proof, repeated over and over, becomes a belief. And belief in your own strength is one of the most powerful tools you will ever possess. You stop waiting for someone else to rescue you, and instead you become your own lifeline. That doesn't mean you never need anyone. It means you know you're capable even when no one is there. This knowledge changes how you see yourself and how you face the world. Inner strength, forged in solitude, also changes your relationship with fear. When you've navigated dark times alone, you realize that fear doesn't have to control you. You've been scared before, you've been unsure before, and yet you survived. That memory becomes a shield against future doubts. It tells you, I've been through worse, and I'm still here. This quiet confidence doesn't scream or boast. It sits deep inside, unshakable. It shows in the way you hold yourself, in the way you approach new challenges, in the way you respond when life tries to knock you down again. Others might not see the battles you fought, but they will see the strength in how you stand. Another powerful part of this inner strength is the clarity it brings. When you've had to depend on yourself, you start to know who you are. You discover what matters to you, what values you're willing to fight for, and what dreams are worth the struggle. Without external noise, your inner voice becomes louder and clearer. You make decisions based not on pressure from others, but on your own principles. This is the foundation of authentic living. You're no longer swayed easily by trends, opinions, or criticism because your sense of self is anchored in something solid, your own experience of overcoming. Even the way you recover from setbacks changes. Instead of crumbling under disappointment, you start using it as a lesson. You begin to see obstacles not as proof that you can't do something, but as opportunities to prove you can. That mindset, born from self-reliance, is what creates growth. It's not about being unbreakable, it's about knowing you can rebuild. And every time you rebuild, you become stronger than before. This isn't just about surviving tough times. It's about transforming them into the very thing that makes you powerful. When you look back at the battles you've faced alone, you may see scars, but you'll also see evidence of your courage. Those moments taught you endurance, adaptability, patience, and self-belief. They gave you a quiet kind of confidence that doesn't need validation to exist. This is the kind of strength that endures when circumstances change, when people leave, when life shifts unexpectedly. It's the strength that says, no matter what happens, I will find a way. That is what fighting alone has been building inside you all along. A resilience that will carry you far beyond the struggles you face today. Every time you take a step forward in silence, you are creating a victory most people will never understand. When no one else is watching, when no one else is clapping or congratulating you, every small action you take toward your goals becomes a testament to your courage. These silent triumphs are proof that you are not waiting for recognition or applause to validate your effort. They reveal that your determination comes from something much deeper, an inner drive that cannot be shaken by circumstances or the opinions of others. This kind of perseverance is rare. And it is what separates those who simply dream from those who actually transform their lives. The power of silent triumphs lies in their authenticity. Because there is no audience, no performance, and no external reward. The only reason you keep going is because you believe in something greater for yourself. This is where real change happens. When you persist even when no one knows your name, you are quietly building discipline, character, and strength. You are proving to yourself that you don't need external motivation to stay the course. This is the foundation of lasting success. People who rely solely on recognition often fade when the applause stops. But people who have built their habits and mindset in silence keep going long after the crowd has left. Think about the late nights you've spent working towards something no one else believes in. The mornings you've forced yourself to rise, even though you felt like staying in bed. Think about the times you have chosen progress over comfort, growth over ease, and effort over excuses. Those moments might have felt insignificant, but they were victories, quiet, unseen, yet powerful. Each one of them is a brick in the path you're laying toward your future. Together, they form a foundation that can support dreams much bigger than what others can see right now. Silent triumphs also build a sense of self-trust. Every time you do what you said you would do, even when no one is checking, you strengthen your belief in yourself. You begin to trust your own word, your own discipline, and your own capabilities. This self-trust is priceless. It becomes the voice inside you that says, "I've done hard things before, and I can do them again." It's what will give you the courage to take bigger risks, pursue greater goals, and overcome even larger obstacles in the future. While others hesitate, you will act, because you've already proven to yourself that you can show up regardless of circumstances. Another hidden beauty of silent triumphs is the humility they create. When you've worked in the shadows, you don't need to boast about your progress or seek validation for every step. You carry yourself with a quiet confidence, knowing what you've accomplished without needing to broadcast it. This humility makes you grounded, approachable, and focused. It also makes your eventual victories even more impactful. When the time comes for the world to see what you've built, the strength behind it will speak louder than any words you could have said along the way. Silent victories also shape how you see challenges. Instead of viewing obstacles as unfair or overwhelming, you start to see them as opportunities to grow stronger in private. You learn to be patient with the process and disciplined with your efforts. You understand that greatness is often built away from the spotlight, in the small, consistent decisions that no one else notices. And because you've practiced succeeding quietly, you develop a resilience that can withstand both success and setbacks without losing your focus. When you finally reach a point where others start noticing your progress, they will think it happened overnight. They won't see the hours of unseen work, the countless times you pushed yourself when it felt impossible, the sacrifices you made in silence. But you'll know every inch of the path you walked, every challenge you overcame, every small triumph that led you here. And that knowledge will give you a deeper sense of gratitude and pride than public applause ever could. Silent triumphs are not just steps toward your goals. They are the proof of your character, your persistence, and your unstoppable spirit. When you go through pain alone, something inside you begins to shift in ways that are hard to explain. The loneliness of your struggle creates a space where you start to feel things more deeply, not only for yourself, but for others as well. When you've sat in silence with your own suffering, you begin to recognize the quiet suffering of those around you. That recognition becomes compassion. It's not the kind of compassion that's surface, level, or performed to be seen. It's a deep, genuine understanding that grows from first-hand experience. You know what it's like to feel invisible, so you instinctively reach out to others who feel the same way, even in small ways. This ability to feel beyond yourself is one of the most powerful traits a human being can develop, and it's born from pain endured alone. Pain has a way of stripping away the superficial. When you're hurting and there's no one there to catch you, you stop pretending and start seeing the world as it truly is. You understand that every smile might be hiding a wound, every confident stride might be masking a doubt, every strong voice might be trembling inside. That awareness makes you slower to judge and quicker to offer kindness. You don't just sympathize with people, you empathize with them because you've lived it. And empathy changes how you act. It shows up in the way you speak to people, the patience you extend, the small gestures of support you give even when no one asks for them. This deepened compassion also changes how you handle relationships. Because you know the weight of feeling unseen, you start becoming someone who makes others feel seen. You listen differently, you pay attention to the details others might miss, you become a safe place for people to share their truth. Without realizing it, you're creating a ripple effect. Your private pain becomes a public blessing as you carry your empathy into the world. People who have fought their own battles alone often become the quiet healers of their communities, not because they set out to be, but because their hearts have been softened and strengthened at the same time. Another powerful aspect of this compassion is the humility it brings. When you've been through difficult seasons, you don't walk around feeling superior to others. You know how quickly life can change, how easily circumstances can humble anyone. That knowledge makes you grateful for the good days and patient during the bad ones. It gives you a perspective that many people miss. You begin to see that everyone is fighting something, even if their struggle looks different from yours. And because of that, you're slower to take things personally and quicker to forgive. Your pain teaches you grace. Through all of this, something else begins to happen. Your pain starts to feel meaningful. It's not that the struggle was good or easy, but that it became a tool to shape your character. You start to recognize that without those lonely battles, you might not have developed the heart you have now. You might not have been as compassionate, as empathetic, or as kind. That realization can be deeply empowering. It means that even though you went through something hard, it wasn't wasted. It grew you into someone who can now see and support others in a way most people can't. And as your compassion grows, so does your strength. People sometimes think compassion is weakness, but it's the opposite. It takes strength to remain kind after you've been hurt. It takes courage to keep your heart open when it would be easier to close it. And that is exactly what your pain has taught you. You've learned to feel deeply without being destroyed by it. You've learned to understand others without losing yourself. This is the kind of power that can transform not only your life, but the lives of those you encounter. By turning your private struggles into empathy, you become a living example of how pain can be transformed into purpose. When life places you in seasons of solitude, it can feel like punishment, but in truth it's often preparation. Being in the middle of hardship, without a support system, forces you to grow in ways you wouldn't if everything were easy. It becomes a training ground where you build habits, perspectives, and strengths that will serve you far into the future. Many of the world's most capable and impactful people didn't discover their purpose in moments of applause. They discovered it in moments of silence, when they had no one but themselves to rely on. These lonely battles become classrooms. Every challenge you face, every night you endure, every step you take on your own is a lesson that is shaping the person you're becoming. In solitude, you learn discipline. Without someone constantly pushing you, you have to create your own routines, your own motivation, your own systems for progress. This self-discipline is not just a survival tool, it's a life skill that sets you apart. It teaches you consistency and patience, which are essential for building anything meaningful. Later, when opportunities arise, you'll be ready because you've already trained yourself to keep going, even when it's hard. People might see your eventual success and think it came easily, but you'll know it was forged in the quiet hours when no one was watching. Another thing solitude teaches you is clarity. When you're constantly surrounded by noise, other people's opinions, distractions, demands, it's hard to hear your own voice. But when you're alone, you have the chance to really listen to yourself. You begin to ask deeper questions about what matters to you, what you stand for, what you want to create. You learn to separate what you've been told to value from what you truly value. This self-knowledge becomes a compass. It helps you make decisions based on your authentic self, instead of trying to please or impress others. That clarity will guide you when new doors open and choices must be made. Solitude also strengthens your problem-solving skills. With no one immediately available to fix things for you, you have to figure them out yourself. You learn how to adapt, how to think creatively, how to keep moving even when the path isn't clear. These skills are invaluable. They prepare you for leadership, for innovation, for resilience in the face of unexpected challenges. When other people panic because they've never had to solve things on their own, you'll remain steady because you've practiced it. This steadiness will make you someone others can rely on, someone who can handle pressure without breaking. Perhaps the most powerful part of being prepared in solitude is that it makes your eventual impact deeper. People who have walked through their own struggles often end up becoming sources of strength and guidance for others. They're not just repeating ideas they've heard, they're sharing wisdom they've lived. Your lonely battles might be giving you the exact experience you'll need to help someone else one day. Your current perseverance could become someone else's lifeline in the future. And when that moment comes, you'll be ready, not because you studied it, but because you survived it. It's easy to see solitude as a sign that you're forgotten or left behind, but often it's the opposite. It's a sign that you're being prepared for something bigger. Like a seed planted in the soil, you're growing roots where no one can see. Those roots will make you unshakable when you finally break through the surface. The character you're building now, the discipline you're practicing, the clarity you're finding, these are all investments in the person you're becoming. And when the time comes for your purpose to fully unfold, you'll step into it with the strength, wisdom, and confidence you've built in these quiet, unseen seasons. Even in the moments when everything feels dark and you're convinced you're walking this road alone, hope is still alive inside you. It may not roar loudly, but it flickers like a small flame that refuses to go out. That tiny spark of hope is what has been carrying you through each day, even when you felt like giving up. Every time you take one more step, make one more decision to keep going, or whisper to yourself, "I can't stop now," you're proving that hope is stronger than despair. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes hope is as simple as getting out of bed, making a plan, or daring to believe that tomorrow can be different from today. And yet, these small actions are monumental because they build a bridge from where you are to where you're going. Enduring hope isn't blind optimism. It's not pretending everything is fine or ignoring the pain you're in. It's acknowledging the struggle and choosing to believe that your story doesn't end here. Hope is what allows you to hold on when logic says to let go. It's what keeps your heart soft when bitterness tries to harden it. It's what allows you to look at your scars and see survival instead of defeat. This kind of hope is a decision, not a feeling. And every time you decide to choose it, you're strengthening a muscle inside you that will serve you for the rest of your life. Each small act of perseverance is an investment in your future self. The days you push through exhaustion, the nights you spend planning your next step instead of giving up, the moments you speak kindly to yourself instead of tearing yourself down, all of these are building blocks of a brighter future. Even when it feels like no progress is happening, you're laying the groundwork for transformation. Like a seed underground, your growth is hidden at first, but that doesn't mean it isn't real. Eventually, your persistence will break through the surface, and the results will be undeniable. Hope also changes the way you interpret your challenges. Instead of seeing every obstacle as a sign that you're failing, you start to see them as part of the journey. Each difficulty becomes proof that you're still in the game, still moving forward, still building resilience. You stop asking why me, and start thinking this will teach me something. That shift in mindset gives you energy when you're tired and courage when you're scared. It keeps you from falling into despair because you start to trust that even your hardest seasons are shaping you into someone stronger. Holding on to hope also prepares you to receive good things when they come. People who give up stop looking for opportunities, but people who keep hope alive stay alert. They're ready when doors open, relationships form, or breakthroughs appear. And because you've endured so much, you'll appreciate those moments more deeply. You won't take them for granted. You'll know exactly what it cost to get there, and that gratitude will make your success even richer. Most of all, enduring hope transforms you from the inside out. It gives you a kind of quiet power that others can sense even if they don't understand it. They'll see it in your eyes, in your posture, in the way you keep showing up. Hope makes you magnetic because it carries an energy of possibility. People who have been in the dark can feel it when someone else is carrying light, and your hope becomes a beacon. Without even trying, you'll inspire others who are struggling to keep going themselves. Your decision not to give up will echo far beyond your own life. This is the power of enduring hope. It doesn't just get you through the moment, it reshapes your future. It allows you to survive what should have broken you, grow where you were planted, and eventually thrive where you once struggled. Every time you choose not to give up, every time you choose to believe that something better is ahead, you're building a story of strength and possibility that will one day inspire others to hold on. 2. Through every keynote runs one unshakable truth. Even in solitude, pain, and uncertainty, you have been building something extraordinary inside yourself. Your inner strength has grown from surviving what others cannot see. Your silent triumphs have shaped your character and built self-trust. Your pain has transformed into compassion, making you someone who understands and uplifts others. Your seasons of isolation have prepared you for a larger purpose, sharpening your clarity, discipline, and resilience. And your enduring hope, quiet yet fierce, has carried you through it all, laying the foundation for a future far brighter than the darkness you've endured. You are not just surviving, you are becoming. Every step you take alone is a step toward the life you're meant to live. And one day you will stand as living proof that even the loneliest battles can lead to the greatest victories. Keep going! The world is waiting for the strength only you can bring.